Hey there, RosterWatch Nation. It's your friendly neighborhood Trashman back with some more position battles to watch. This time, I'm going to be talking about teams in the AFC North, starting out with the Chicago Bears. So, Chicago has been one of the busier teams in addressing their backfields this offseason, bringing in Deontay Foreman and Travis Homer through free agency, and then taking Roschon Johnson in the draft. Already familiar with the team, Khalil Herbert has the inside track to start the season as the main runner in the backfield. He's one of the most efficient backs in the league, and he's a solid inside runner for a back of smaller stature. That being said, the Bears inexplicably ceded most of his touches to David Montgomery when he was in the backfield there in Chicago, and they could follow suit with one of the bigger backs that they've added. Foreman showed that he could shoulder a lead back role during his time in Carolina, and Johnson has the traits to do any and everything asked of him as a running back. If not for Bijan Robinson taking such touches from him at Texas, he could have been a top 5 back in the draft. The best combo of youth and talent on the bunch. Johnson should win this one out, but nothing is certain here. Moving on to Detroit, we have David Montgomery, former Bear, versus Jahmyr Gibbs. It should seem like a foregone conclusion that Gibbs will take the lead role here. I mean, why else would the Lions waste first-round draft capital on him? But the Lions aren't above giving the first 2 downs and goal line opportunities to Montgomery, as we saw was the case with Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift of the last couple of seasons in Detroit. Swift garnered a 16% target share as a pass catcher, and I would expect Gibbs to get at least that much. Gibbs could eat into Montgomery's carries too, but if Montgomery holds on to goal line touches on one of the more dynamic offenses in the NFL, Gibbs could be relegated to PPR beastliness only. Also on the Lions, we have Brock Wright versus Sam Laporta and the tight end department. Laporta is already being reported as the best player on the field in Detroit practices, which may be a bit of an overstatement. But the fact that the rookie is performing well above expectations bodes well for his chances of seeing the field early and often in his career. Tight ends are notorious for not being fantasy viable until about year 3, though. Standing in his way, if you don't already consider the numerous capable pass catchers at other positions, is Brock Wright. Wright was the number 1 tight end for the Lions in 2023, though Shane Zylstra and James Mitchell were involved as well. They're still on the roster, so maybe they should be included in this conversation. Mitchell's collegiate metrics actually rival those of Kyle Pitts. That being said, the Lions wouldn't have brought in Laporta if they didn't feel they needed depth at the position. And moving on to the Green Bay Packers, the competition here will involve the Packers' whole receiving core. The complexion of the Packers has changed drastically with Aaron Rodgers moving on to the Jets. Jordan Love is now the quarterback for better or worse, and with that comes a new pecking order in the receiver core. Or does it? Christian Watson is the front runner to lead the pack here, as he is the best side-speed combo of the group, and his 22% target share over the last month of the 2022 season led all other Green Bay receivers not named Allen Lazard. Romeo Doubs was productive in stints last season as well, though he only had 3 games over 50 yards. Sources close to the team have indicated that he'll be the chain mover in 2023, but that is yet to be seen. The new kid in the mix is rookie Jaden Reed out of Michigan State. He's undersized compared to the other 2. Reed profiles as a slot man and kick returner. Quick and decisive, He found plenty of seams at the Senior Bowl. For my money, Watson is the Packer receiver to target in fantasy first, but the great thing about this new offense, so to speak, is that potential abounds in several directions, so Doubs and Reed are well worth owning too. Last but not least, we have the Minnesota Vikings and the position battle that has not yet happened, as Dalvin Cook is still on the roster in Minnesota. But it seems all but a foregone conclusion that Cook will find a new home before the season starts, leaving Madison and newly acquired DeWayne McBride to battle it out for the lead back job in Minnesota. This doesn't seem like a fair fight, as Madison already has run as the bell cow for the Vikings over the past few seasons when Cook was out with injury, and he's still going to be just 25 when the 2023 season begins. McBride is no slouch, though, as he had a 7.3 yard per carry average on 484 attempts and ran for 1,713 yards in his last college season. He also scored 32 touchdowns in his last 2 seasons at the University of Alabama, Birmingham. McBride could be a sneaky fantasy asset if he can work his way to consistent touches in this Vikings offense. And so there you have it. NFC North position battles to watch. If you like what you're hearing, if you like what you heard, leave us a comment, give us a follow, join us at rosterwatch.com. And until next time, this has been the Trash Man saying, be ready.